So this whole debacle started off with Kanye West wearing a White Lives Matter shirt with Candace Owens. Then he follows that up by going on Drink Champs and saying a bunch of anti-Semitic remarks. He then had a strange spat with Diddy, where he basically claimed that Diddy is being controlled by those same Jewish media moguls, and essentially saying, I want to use you to prove to everybody that they are in charge. A lot of stuff, which has led to, unfortunately, him being canceled essentially by almost every company he's done business with. Companies like the Gap, Skechers, TJ Maxx, Instagram, Twitter no longer want to offer him a platform. I think he even got dropped by Def Jam. I think Good Music is no longer a part of Def Jam, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously he's lost a lot of avenues for A, having a platform, and B, a lot of business opportunities because of the remarks that he made.
First of all, let's just deal with Ye for a second. All of this started with the White Lives Matter shirts, right? With Candace Owens. Him trying to rile people up on the heels of him buying that platform that her husband runs. That, to me, was a business move. Like, it was a virtue signal to the potential market that he is now acquiring into, that he's now buying into. Everything that came after that, madness, absolute madness, and it's almost what you come to expect from Kanye now, and this is just so sad, dude. It is so sad. He's a spectacle of his own self. As far as the comments go, I find it very interesting that he was able to do the White Lives Matter stuff without getting canceled. He was able to say the stuff about George Floyd, which really just goes to what I continue to stress upon people about this man's mental state. Because if you think that he legitimately believes that George Floyd died of fentanyl, if you think he legitimately believes that, then he would have to be, excuse my lack of a better term, out of his mind, because he donated $200 million or $2 million, something like that, to a college fund for George Floyd's daughter in the immediate aftermath of that shooting. Didn't get on TV and talk about it. Didn't wave his flag and say, oh, look at me, look at the good I did. Didn't even play it up in the press like his wife does every time she helps somebody, or his ex-wife. Just quietly shelled out millions of dollars to this man's daughter that he never met before. But now a year later, you think he died of fentanyl, bro? After it's already been proven in court that he did not die from fentanyl, we have a medical examiner who set the cause of death as asphyxiation. Struggle with that word, asphyxiation. He's not in a good place in his head. But even within that, he's not without autonomy, and he's not without responsibility. And you can't continue to destroy everything in your path and have excuses made for you. I'm not going to do that for him no more, man. I can't. Like, he's placed himself in a so, and it's not even specifically about the anti-Semitic things. He is so decidedly anti-black nowadays. I cannot rock with that. And whether or not you're doing it for money or business opportunities or for clout or whatever it is that you do it for, I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it at all. At all. And it is so sad to say that about a former idol. Like, I am not embarrassed to say that I looked up to Kanye West, for sure. Absolutely. And it is absolutely tragic to see the man he is. He's just not a good person, man.
So yesterday, as we were kind of watching the Michigan State game, my dad and I and my brother kind of had that same conversation about the fact that he's going on these tirades. Do you think that Kanye is done because of this? Like, me and you may be done with him, and we've done a really good job of completely ignoring most of this until it became like a huge thing. And obviously, we got to talk about it at some point. But do you believe that he's done? Do you believe this is the end of Kanye West, or will he somehow bounce back from all of it?
Of course he
To
will.
some level.
Yeah, of course he will. Of course he will, because he's one of the foremost popular recording artists of our generation. It's Jay-Z, and then right underneath him is probably Drake and Kanye. He's one of the ones, and he's popular enough that people will do mental gymnastics to defend him. Not only that, he's just extremely marketable, and he's marketable when he's not talking, and
Sure.
he's profitable. That's what it is. He's profitable. Everything they took from him had some worth. The Yeezy brand, the distributing deal with the Gap, like it's worth something. And the reason why I'm thinking that he gave up parts of his ownership over the brand was so that he could lean some of that production or all of it, all of the production costs off onto a company like the Gap. Right. And in hindsight, I guess that's for a guy who says the type of stuff that he does, it just wasn't the best way of doing business, because if you run around talking the way that you do, you want to keep ownership of what you have. I seen people talking online about it, and he ain't never really even owned nothing. That's not how it works, man. That's not how business deals work. You make deals, cut percentages, you give points so that the partner or the whoever else on the other side will assume a part of the responsibility or some of the cost. Right? So yes, he owned it. He literally gave a part of it to Kim Kardashian before they got divorced. How could he do that if he never owned it? But at the same time, it probably wasn't the best deal to make, knowing your track record of doing things in the public space that gets you the vitriol that you get. And the reason why I don't think it's going to last even more than his personal popularity is because look at how this all unfolded. Like I just started out saying, it wasn't the anti-black sentiments that got him in trouble. It was the anti-Semitic ones. And so I always find it funny when stuff like this happens, where Nick Cannon said that essentially that there are black Jews. What happened to Nick Cannon?
Viacom said.
So it's interesting that they say this. We come out and say, hey, that's not actually true. That's anti-Semitic, this, that. And then immediately these guys get washed. Immediately. From every which direction. Almost confirming what it is that they're saying. When they deem that Kanye West has paid his penance and they can start making money off of him again, they will. They will. And I don't think that has anything to do with their virtue or their morals. I think it has to do with dollars. People are upset right now. Probably some people in power. And that's just how it happens. You say something like that that's going to offend an entire group of people, and they're not black. You usually get this.
I also believe that a portion of it is the fact that I don't know how strong this play is because we haven't really seen it to this magnitude. But at the end of the day, he has a bright, shiny mental health button that he can press at any point, and it would at least get him some points back.
We know that. We know that from his relationship with Kim, that he doesn't take care of himself that way. He does not. He does not. He doesn't take care of himself. That's all I can. That's all I'll say. He does not do what it is he would need to do for people to have that level of sympathy. Again, he's not without autonomy. Having an illness does not absolve you of responsibility. It doesn't give you a right to go out and do and say any and everything you want to do. It's not a
You
get
and
out.
I, as logical thinkers, agree with that. I think
Oh,
there's a
you're
lot of
saying
people
play
who,
that up.
I think a lot of people will hear that and be like, "Oh yeah, 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 that makes sense." I think that's always a play in his back pocket.
Yes, he can definitely play up the mental health thing, but he's never been one to do it before. He's never been one to lean on that, right? Like everybody knows that he has an issue. He has an ailment, but it doesn't really seem like there's anybody in Ye life right now. And I could just be speculating. I don't know him, you know what I'm saying? But it don't seem like there's anybody there that can pull him back. You know, he's not grounded by anything. He just out here floundering into different people's stratosphere that want to use him and put him out there and use him for clicks and views and stuff like that. He getting pulled in every which direction. There's no, he's not grounded right now at all, and so that's why he's tail spinning. Yeah, he could, but I don't think that's the way it's gonna go because he's never really leaned into it before.
He hasn't, but I don't know if he's ever been in this position before either, to where this many people are trying to stay away from him. He's been in a similar position for sure, but to this degree, maybe, maybe not. And I guess it just depends on how further it's going to keep going, essentially.
Yeah, I've been trying my best not to think or see this, but you know, it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate. Tell us what you guys think about Ye and his current predicament. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Give us your comments in the prompt below.
Absolutely, and we have plenty of Kanye West videos in the past, so make sure you choose one of those and watch a couple of them, and then make sure you subscribe. Anytime we hear something that we think in the hip hop community needs to be discussed, we will be sure to talk about it.